Everyone, Gautam aka the Seeker of Wisdom. I'm a manifestation coach, and in this video, we're going to be looking at a SP success story. Now, before I do so, I'd like to remind you guys I am available for coaching, so I offer hourly, monthly, email, and DM coaching. The link will be in the description down below for an FAQ page where you guys will have all the answers you need, and thereafter, you guys can reach out to me via Instagram or email for pricing information and to figure out what plans may be suitable for you. I also have a Facebook group where I upload resources from time to time, as well as you guys can ask me questions anonymously if you wish to do so. Make sure that you answer the 2 questions and agree to the group rules. Otherwise, my admins, my moderators will decline you with feedback asking you to do the exact same thing. I also have a mailing list where I post articles from time to time, as well as my latest offers for coaching. And last but not least, I also have a Manifest Your SP course where I go into detail as to how do you go about the manifestation process with regards to your SP and really break it down. And it has like 8 different modules, and each module has like PDFs. That's the main mode of coaching. And along with that, to complement that, I also have videos where I go into detail and explaining techniques. And also it comes with like worksheets and so on, and to really kind of like go in depth as to why you're doing what you're doing and how do you go about the entire manifestation process. And this is really great value for you, because once you purchase it, it's yours forever. You will get those updates for free, and I will be updating the course over time, and I will bump up the prices accordingly. So if you buy it right now, guys, you will have those content absolutely for free. So that's the main advantage of this course. And so if you guys need any information on that as well, be sure to email me about it, and find out any information. And I also will post the host site of the course in the description as well, so you guys can actually find out about those things. And so without further ado, guys, let's get to it. So throughout this video, I'll be looking on my screen here, like on my surface. So like if I'm looking, I'm reading out my client's message here, so that's why I have to like glance there and read exactly what she said. So if you saw my Instagram story, it was yesterday. I posted it at the time of the recording. Not sure how many people would have seen it, but so that's why so some of you guys may be familiar with this story, but I don't know when will I actually upload this video, so I'm not sure whether or not like everyone will recall that. But I'll try to upload this video really quickly as well. So quick backstory with this client, right? So what really happened with this client was she reached out to me about say a month back, right? Actually less than a month ago, right? Short of 2 days, I would say. So she reached out to me maybe on the 24th of April, and we had our first 1 hour call on the 25th of April. And basically it was one of the things that she wanted to manifest was a specific person. And she kind of went through her like went over her situation and everything, which is kind of like not really necessary for the sake of this video, really, because the gist of it was they were both from the US, and but they were kind of like in different states. And both of them have like situations that are going on. And really, like when my client started out with me, she was in no contact because of that. So those are kind of like the main pointers, if you will, right? So she was in no contact. They weren't in the same state, even though they were from the US. And like the US is quite big, so like for context, like my client is from the west side of the US, whereas her SP was from the southeast side of things. So yeah, it's quite far away, I guess you could say. So what happened was when she reached out, obviously she wanted contact, and she wanted a happy relationship with him and so on. But at the same time, like she wanted this person to reach out to her during her birthday. And which was about 1 month from where we were when we started the call. And so I went over like how manifestation works and the different techniques. We mainly spoke about things like affirmations, when to do affirmations, inner conversations, and how do you kind of complement it with that, and really kind of like shifting your perspective and making it all about you, and so on, right? So like those are things that I normally cover in my coaching all the time, is making it all about you, going through affirmations and different other techniques as well, and like really making sure that when you do leave the coaching session, you have a favorable perspective with regards to the situation of manifesting your SP, right? So yesterday she messages me and she goes, hey, I have some good news for you. SP actually flew back, and to surprise me for my birthday, and yeah, and then she goes on to say everything. So what happened turns out was, SP was actually in a nearby state to where my client is, right? And he had that temptation to book a ticket to her state and surprise her on her birthday. So this is how the bridge of incidents turned, but I'll just read it from her messages so that you guys kind of get the the story from her. So she texts me. First thing she says, I just wanted to let you know that our strategy worked. My SP flew across the country to surprise me for my birthday, and we are back in communication. So again, like I said, they were in no contact. Thank you. You are wise beyond your years. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So she then goes on to say, yes, and I tell her, right, I'm really happy to hear this. And she goes on to say, yes, I honestly wasn't sure how it would ever happen, especially given less than a month to manifest it. However, he had an unexpected family obligation the next date over the day before my birthday. So he was very close to where my client was in a nearby state, but like he had an unexpected family obligation. You see how the bridge of incidents comes by, guys. Like this is why I wanted to like highlight this part, is he wasn't there exactly to surprise her in the beginning, right? He had an unexpected family obligation, right? And then you know he had thoughts of visiting my client and surprising her, right? So this is how the bridge of incidents comes. Like, could my client have foreseen this unexpected family obligation? No, because this was unexpected even for the SP. So how could she have foreseen it? This is why I always say there are forces, there are elements that are shifting, that is beyond your control, beyond your peripheral vision, beyond what you can see and hear. So this is why trusting the process is so important, right? I really want to emphasize that. Even she goes on to say, his exact words were, quote, when I booked the ticket, something told me to surprise you, right? So he said, when I booked the ticket, something told me to surprise you. So like really, he had that nudge, right? And he had that nudge because my client was obviously putting in the work there, right? And this is what happens, right? Like that's something that he's talking about there. Those are your thoughts, right? Like that, those are my client's thoughts, the work that she's been putting in. That's the something there, right? So yeah. And so I asked her, okay, so what was your routine like? Because I really want to, I told her like I want to, share this on YouTube. And so yeah, she goes on to say, I really think only talking about the situation with a coach or someone who is going to tell you that you are in the middle and the end is your decision is so important, right? So she goes on to talk about like really discussing it firstly with people who will encourage you, basically, right? That's what she's getting at. She said, I told you and two of my best friends about the undesirable circumstance. Everybody else just assumed we were still in communication and I didn't tell them otherwise, right? So this is, here's the thing, like whenever people ask you about the status of your relationship, right? If they were aware, like say you were in a relationship with your SP and then something happened and you guys are like currently broken up or something, you don't have to go and tell that story to everyone, right? Like I kind of made this mistake too in my own journey at one point, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that, right? You can be like, yeah, we are cool. Yeah, we are cool, right? And I think coming at it from that perspective will really help you. This is something that I encourage my clients to do as well. If you can't do this with the people, what I would say is that as you tell them, you can tell them things as it is, but in your mind you tell them otherwise. simultaneously. Like let's say you are telling someone, things between, my SP and I isn't that great or something like that. In your mind, however, you are saying, we are in a blissful relationship, we love each other so much, we are doing great. If you can't do that on the spot, go home, at the end of the day, revise it in your mind, replay it as though you would have wanted it to happen, right? As Neville would say it, right? Like he would always, Neville always encourages people to revise, things as though they went according to plan, or as how we wish them to be, and doing it every day as a sort of an exercise, right? So that, the idea being that, we are not bringing, unfavorable things into the future, right, by dwelling on it. And so and revision really helps in this process. So yeah. And this one is my favorite, right? So in the next paragraph, she goes on to say, I absolutely did not check his social media or for text messages or communication from him, right? Like if you are my client, right, sometimes I'm like a broken record, right? Like I always say, don't check the 3D, don't check the 3D, don't check the 3D, right? And I know that there's a few people, like, there's a handful of like people, they will always tell me, I know you told me not to check the 3D, but I kind of went on to check the 3D, and I'm like, and I'm like, okay, here's the thing, like there's a reason, right? Like no coach or anyone wants to restrict you from like enjoying life or anything like that, but it's more about letting your SP do the work, letting the SP initiate contact, letting them fight for you, giving them a chance to express the love that they have for you, right? The issue with checking 3D, or trying to initiate contact of any sorts, is that it may or may not work, right? Sometimes it's like throwing a dart, it's a hit or miss kind of situation. But say, like it works, right? Part of you will always be wondering, was it my actions that got me there, or was it the manifestation routines that I was doing that got me there, right? And you really kind of, your faith in the law is, very shaky at the end of the day. And that's what I don't want you guys to have, is to go into this like, when you go in, you go all in 100% into this, right? Don't like, check the 3D, and think, where is it coming yet, and so on and so forth, right? Like what she said, I absolutely did not check his social media. Like I love that aspect, right? I love that. Even if like, you guys are not blocked or anything, resist the urge, always go within and get the confirmation from within, using conversations, using visualization. You have your imagination for a reason, guys, right? You have it for a reason. Get the confirmation from within and keep going, right? You don't have to rely on the 3D for evidence, because 3D is always a result of past thoughts, assumptions and beliefs, and unless it shows what we exactly desire, you don't have to react to it. Until then, you keep going, okay? So yeah, so she goes on to say, when I felt like I wanted to check the 3D, I reviewed our notes and affirmation and thought about other things that seems impossible that I manifested. I also watched a lot of manifestation success story videos. So a couple things here, right? So she went back, a lot of my clients will take notes during my coaching session, so she went back to review those. And like I said, one thing that I probably would have told her as well is, go within, like I told you guys, right? Like go within, see the confirmation in your imagination. And also I think she also reviewed the affirmation, so it's a good thing, right? Like journal things, write down stuff, and like go back and refer to those notes sometimes. Like that's something I would do as well, even when I was in my own journey, right? So I think like journaling that way, and like looking at your affirmations, and writing them down, those are really good habits. So she said one more thing, right? Like she also watched a lot of manifestation success story videos. So I kind of did that in my journey, in the sense that I wasn't binge watching videos, so mine was a little different. So I actually used to read success stories from the Secret website, right? The Secret has like a success story website, and what I did was to actually go and read those stories, right? Because here's the thing, like sometimes I get it, right? Like hope is one of those things that you may not exactly have when you're beginning your journey and so on, and you may need a little bit of push, and you may need a little bit of motivation to go through. And you know what, like I think this is perfect that way. So for you to like go and like see these success stories, right, it can motivate you. But the only thing there is, it's a double-edged sword, in the sense that this is an issue for everyone. But like, even in a video of mine yesterday, I think one of you all asked, like, is it bad if I'm jealous of like other people manifesting their SPs? And that's an issue right there, because like the thing is, you shouldn't be jealous of other people getting their desire. You should in fact say, if they can do it, so can I, and you use it as motivation. You shouldn't use that to emphasize your lack, so to speak, right? So you need to be very careful as to how you interpret it, right? And if you are someone who sees it as, okay, why is it, why lucky them, not me, kind of thing, then this may not really resonate with you. I would say, like, then, no matter how many success stories you watch, you will always try to find reasons as to why it worked for them and why it didn't for you, right? So just keep going, and just stick to your routines. And if that's the case, and like, I would say, maybe not, maybe the success story part may not resonate with you. But if you're not that type of person, if you're someone who gets motivated by watching these kinds of stories, then by all means go ahead, right? Like, either watching videos, or reading it, like I did. Again, one more thing is that you don't have to binge watch videos as well. I'll make a proper video on this. But you don't have to binge watch content on YouTube or something like that. Go and enjoy your life as well. But if you don't need the occasional motivation and everything, then by all means, go and watch videos, right? Like, some of my clients, they do this thing where they will limit themselves to maybe like 1 or 2 videos per day. So it kind of like helps them to stay focused, I guess. So that's something that you guys can try as well. So I just wanted to put it out there. So she goes on to say, I focused on myself during the day. I practiced languages and worked out to keep my mind off of the things I didn't like. So here's the thing, right? Like, and I really like applaud her for this. Is that she focused on herself. She went to do things. Like, life still has to go on, right? Yes, you are manifesting your SP. You can make it a really like all about your SP at times. But remember, this is all about you. This is all about you, right? So go out there and enjoy your life. Go and do things that you will be doing if you had your SP in your life anyway. And that's what she did. If her SP was in her life anyway, she would go on and focus on her life, her hobbies, and so on and so forth, right? So she invested in herself, right? She learned languages, she worked out, and she did all those things really to kind of like keep the emphasis away from him, and like putting the emphasis on her, and like making it all about her, and really to take away the attention from things that she did not like, right? So that's one thing, right? Energy goes where attention goes, right? What we focus on is what we attract more of. And so she kept the focus off of the things that she didn't like, through focusing on the things that she did like, and she invested in herself, right? So if you are in your manifestation journey with regards to an SP, take notes, right? Invest in yourself. Go and like indulge in a new hobby. It can be very simple, right? Like, one thing that I learned during my journey was to kind of go and like learn chess, for example, right? And these are things that you can do really. And I feel like this is one of those things where it varies from person to person. But like, do something that you always wanted to try, and enjoy life that way, and like explore things, because here's the thing: you will never be this young again, regardless of how old you are right now. You will never be this young again. So make use of the time, right? And don't be just in that dwelling kind of like longing kind of state where you are like, okay, thinking how to manifest my SP, will this ever happen? And don't be in that state. Like, get out of it, do your routines, do all those things, change your beliefs and everything, and also invest in yourself. SP is coming, but in the meantime, invest in yourself and improve yourself as well, right? So that's one thing there. So she also said, she visualized so she wrote, I visualized myself calling my best friend and telling her all about um, all he did for my birthday, bracket, she knew I was doing this and was so excited for me when it actually happened. So basically what she did was, she did a visualization where she was like telling her best friend about how her SP came and surprised her, and how her friend was actually very excited for it, and it actually came to pass, right? It actually came to fruition. So I think having a manifestation buddy here could be useful. Some manifestation buddy, sometimes the way I see it personally, it's like a hit or miss kind of thing. Sometimes it works. Like if you are having a very aware friend, they kind of keep you on your feet as well. They make sure that you are doing things right. You can make sure that they are doing things right as well. Just making sure that way. I feel like it's a really good system. But at the same time, sometimes it comes like the cons of it, I would say, is if one person is benefiting more than the other. Like it comes like one person just becomes like just there to just be receive like rents and like from the other person, right? So it's like a hit or miss kind of thing when it comes to manifestation buddies, as far as I can tell. But yeah, if it works for you, if you have someone to like encourage you one way or another, if they know about the law of assumption, you can do what she did here. Or you can also like just talk to them in the inner conversations and just leave it at that. And that has to come to pass as well, either way. So I mean, she did have that that in the 3D, the support of her client, her friend as well. So yeah, I guess that was good for her. But even if you don't, you can still do this technique, is what I'm saying. So she said, I recorded the affirmations you gave me on the app ThinkUp, along with other self concept affirmations, and listened to those every night when I fell asleep. It was really easy and unfolded better than I could have ever forced it to. Right? So like, I know though a lot of you into affirmation tapes, and I have been receiving requests to do meditations as well, and I will definitely do those for sure. The thing with affirmations is that this is a technique that a lot of my clients use. Actually, the only thing I would say is, like, document it. Listen to for at least 21 days. Stick to it consistently. I would say the consistency is the key thing there. And you can listen to ones off of YouTube as well, and you can also like record like what she did as well. I think both works. So it's really a matter of preference there. I sometimes listen to maybe like meditations, like when I first started out in my journey, like back in 2020 and everything. But nowadays I don't, because like if you know my sleeping hours right now, some of my clients will be laughing when they see this. But when I sleep, I have to sleep, right? Like I just can't listen to sounds or anything like that. Like even if like there's a tiny speck of light somewhere, like let's say I'm charging my phone or my earpiece or something like that, that would still like bother me, right? So I'm that kind of a guy. So it's really more of a personal preference thing there. I like, if I do listen to any sort of like meditation or something like that, I'll just play it like during the day when I work as well. So yeah, it's really a preference thing there. So it's really up to you guys, with regards to the tape. But that's what she did as well. So lastly, she also talked about, I also wrote daily prayers in a prayer journal and occasionally did revisions, but not just for him, for life in general, right? So this was like a prayer journal she had, and she also did revisions as well. So if you feel like you have to revise maybe one or two things, you can do them over and over again. Or if you have a slew of events as well you want to revise, you can also do that, right? So those were the things that she did, and I think the main takeaway was, don't check 3D, do your techniques, invest in yourself, and let it unfold, right? I think that's the key takeaway from this. And for someone to go from no contact to contact within less than a month, and to have that like a time span as well. Like she wanted it to happen before her birthday, and it did, right? Like he surprised her during her birthday, and everything happened within a month, right? He flew to surprise her, right? When we say circumstances don't matter, this is what we mean, right? And things can shift really quickly, and a lot of people I know like want to talk about time crunch and so on. Like here's the thing, right? Like she had a target, and she went for it, like, which is perfect, right? She didn't put any pressure on herself. She wasn't looking for it. That's the main thing. When you guys are trying to manifest things on a time crunch, you shouldn't be looking for it. You shouldn't let that get to you in any way. And if you are that type of person who is very strong, like her, my client here, then I would say by all means go ahead. But otherwise, if the time factor is not too important, if you don't have a deadline, I would say let it unfold, because it can happen quicker in that way as well. So why restrict yourself that way, right? So that's the kind of like rationale behind time crunch. So really that's about it, guys. Be very self-disciplined in this routines. Don't check 3D. Keep persisting in the assumption that this is already yours, and also invest in yourself, right? At the end of the day, life still goes on. Even if we have a SP in our lives, we will be doing a lot of things, right? Like, we will be working on ourselves, we will be pushing ourselves, we will be growing as a person, right? And do all those things as well. Don't be stagnant, right? And that's when they come in, when you are investing in yourself, and when you are happy with yourself, when you're comfortable in your own skin, and when you are going by a life in the most happy state possible. That's when they come. That's when they come, right? So like, manifesting an SP is really easy. Like, it's really easy. It's one of the easier things, I would say, compared to like other manifestations out there, right? Like, when it comes to, at least, some of my clients would always say this as well. Actually, manifesting an SP is easy, like, compared to other things. But when you first enter the community or law of assumption in general, you may think the opposite of that, because just because the person is a living entity. But remember, they are you pushed out, right? They are you pushed out. They have to parrot back whatever you told them to. And so don't give up, right? Keep going. And your SP is already yours, right? Go with the end in mind. And your SP is yours. Just maintain a favorable mental diet. Think favorably. Don't think too much about what's going on in the 3D. Make it all about you, and your SP is yours, guys. We've come to this end of this video. If this video resonated with you, be sure to drop a like and a comment down below. If you have any questions or anything like that, put it in the comments as well. And so one of you guys asked me this, and I can't believe I'm actually addressing this on a video. But when I say the description, right, like, it's actually below the video, right? It's because I don't know, like, when I said, like, okay, I'll put it in the description or something like that, like, people were asking me, well, where's the description, right? The box of text beneath the video is the description. And the reason why it came up was because when you guys have video suggestions, I have a Google survey form just for that, and it is in the description as well. So the reason for that is because I can't keep track of, like, all the content suggestions that you guys are giving me in my like through comments or anything like that. So the Google form is really a great way for me to like, keep track of everything, I would say. So I will be making more videos. Like, a lot of content I make is from the content suggestions, actually. I address those things there one way or another. So really, that's what I do normally. So if you guys leave your request there, I will definitely get to it. Just give me a bit of time. I promise you guys, I will get to it for sure. And I just wanted to clear that out really quickly. Turn on your bell notifications so that you guys will know when I upload a new video every single week. Be sure to subscribe, guys, as it goes a long way for me. You guys have been really supportive, honestly. Like, I love the YouTube community and my Instagram community. I really love you guys. So thank you for all the support that you guys are giving me. Every time I post something, you guys are very active, and you guys are really very engaging. So it's really, it's a blessing, and I don't take this community for granted in any way. So from the bottom of my heart, guys, thank you. I know I say this like every single video, but like, I can't stress this enough. Like, I really can't emphasize this enough, right? Like, I'm just grateful. I'm just truly grateful for being able to do what I do, and it wouldn't be possible if it weren't for you guys. So thank you. So guys, thank you for watching. Stay safe and happy manifesting. Peace.